If you own the X5, Insta360 have just released a new firmware that gives the camera some brand new features, as well as releasing some never before seen accessories that you might want to consider. So in this video, I'll share 3 new features and 3 new accessories that are now available with the X5. Big thanks to Insta360 for sponsoring this video. However, as usual, all opinions within the video are 100% my own. Now firstly, to unlock these new features, you'll need to update the firmware of the X5, which you can do by connecting it to the app and following the prompts, and you'll want to make sure you're using firmware 1.3.0 or a later one if you're watching this in the future. And the first new feature they've added to the camera is what they're calling adaptive tone. Adaptive tone is a mode that you can switch on in the 360 video menu that is designed to help you get better exposure on your videos. Because when we're capturing a 360 video, most scenes have a mix of highlights and shadows, and usually the camera will do its best to find an exposure that is a balance of the two. But by turning on adaptive tone, what you're doing is essentially telling the camera to capture more exposure information so you can have greater flexibility later on in editing to change that exposure. So here you'll see I'm moving this shot around in Insta360 Studio, and the exposure is changing noticeably based on whether I'm showing the highlighted area or the shadow area in my final reframed shot. And this is exactly what this mode is for. It gives you the ability to change the exposure of your shot later on to help give whichever final frame you choose with your video the best exposure possible. With that said, I will say that the auto exposure with the X5 was already pretty good as is, so this isn't a must-have feature, and I did find sometimes that it did absolutely nothing in certain types of lighting situations. However, in others, like when I've got a really bright sky behind me here, you'll see the adaptive tone shot brought back a nice level of contrast that wasn't there before. It is still early days with adaptive tone though, so I wouldn't say it's a must-use setting, but it definitely has good intentions in helping you get the best exposure possible from your shots and being able to re-expose your shot later on, kind of like a raw photo. The next new feature they've added is single lens Purevideo, and Purevideo is the shooting mode that they previously added to the X5 in 360 video mode that drastically improves low light shots by using better internal settings and noise reduction that makes nighttime shots look far better than they would in normal video mode. Well, they've now added that to single lens shooting, so if you've decided you want to shoot fixed lens videos, your shots at nighttime will now look far better. By the way, if you want to download my free Insta360 cinematic LUT pack below, inside that you'll find one-click color presets that will instantly make your X5 footage look more cinematic. Again, you can download the LUT pack for free down below. The next firmware update has to do with improving the battery life. So previously, if you were shooting at 8K 30 with the X5, you'd be able to record for around 88 minutes on one battery. Well, they've now improved that to be 93 minutes, which is definitely a much welcome addition. Speaking of batteries, the first new accessory is this new X5 Ultra battery, which is the exact same size and shape as the standard battery, but instead of 2400 mAh, this one is 2800, meaning that 93-minute 8K recording that I just mentioned could now potentially be increased to 104 minutes on one single battery. The new Ultra battery is $49 USD and will be best suited to people who shoot a lot of footage in a single day and don't want to have to stop to recharge the camera. The next new accessory comes in this cool looking case. If we open it up, here we have the world's first ND filters for a 360 camera. These filters are very light and are kind of like domed mirrors, and they clip onto the X5 very easily. Just line it up, twist it like that, and voila. It looks a little bit like a 360 camera astronaut. And these ND filters come in ND 16, 32, and 64. Now, while ND filters are not for the average user, these are definitely for the professional crowd who want to do things like dim, strong light sources, resulting in less overexposure. Although again, I think the X5 does a pretty good job at doing this already without them. But you can also use ND filters to add like a natural motion blur effect for scenes like riding a motorbike. I know a lot of you have been requesting ND filters over the years, so if you've ever been curious, these just might be exactly what you've been waiting for. I'll be sure to test these out some more and share some more detailed thoughts in an upcoming video. The third new accessory is this GPS preview remote with an inbuilt mic. And on the surface, this device looks a bit like an Apple Watch. In the hand, it feels really premium, like very good quality. I can feel the vibrations coming through nicely. And this is going to be the perfect accessory for anyone who needs to control the camera without being able to physically touch the camera. For example, you have it mounted to a vehicle and you're not within arm's reach of the camera. With this preview remote, you can gain control of your camera wirelessly. So if you wanted to change some of the settings, you could do so here. With every recording you make, something else this device will do is record GPS data. If you say wanted an overlay of an extreme sports video, or if you wanted to capture GPS data for Google Street View upload. But not only is this a preview remote and GPS recorder, but if you tap here on the microphone, this now becomes a high quality audio recording device. As you can see, it's responding to my voice with the audio levels there. And the idea is that you can connect this to your X5 to become like a wireless lapel mic. As you can see, it's set up here. So now I could wear this device on my lapel and record 32-bit float audio, which is basically the best type of sound file you can possibly record. It comes with a bunch of accessories like this little wind muff, as well as a camera strap if you want to wear it like a watch, or just connect it to your selfie stick. This can also be used completely separately as a sound recording device without needing to connect it to the X5 first. So overall, this is an extremely premium device that comes at a premium price, which makes it not an obvious choice, but a really good one for anyone who wants either GPS data or high quality audio recordings. So there you have it. There are the 6 new updates of the X5. What do you think of them? Let me know down below. And if you want to learn how to get awesome looking shots with your X5 without spending years going through trial and error like everyone else, inside my 360 Video 101 course, I teach you everything you need to know as a beginner to start creating professional looking Insta360 videos in no time. You can learn more by following the link below. And if you still haven't fully mastered your X5 yet, you probably don't know that there's a complete hidden menu here if you swipe down from the top of the screen that will give you some brand new features that will help you shoot better videos faster and easier. In this video here, I'll show you what all of them do and how you can program your X5 for best results.